Morning, the Portland Police Bureau is officially launching a new piece of equipment.
That's right. Officers from the Central Precinct will now wear body-worn cameras. They were previously the largest police department in the country without them.
Fox 4's Carly Olson joins us live with details this morning. Good morning, Carly.
Good morning. The Central Precinct is implementing the body cams after a months-long pilot program in which multiple police teams tested out the equipment. That pilot program took place between August and October last year. The Police Bureau says during that time, the cameras captured nearly 36,000 pieces of video and photo evidence. Those cameras, which were on loan from the company Axon, were tested by members of PPB's Focused Intervention Team, the Central Precinct Patrol, and the Central Neighborhood Response Team and Bike Squad. A team of people across various bureau departments then reviewed the results and unanimously passed the pilot program. The Bureau says they believe this technology will improve the relationship between officers and the public by providing an added layer of transparency. Officers from the Central Precinct have been trying to implement the cameras full-time over the past week, and the North Precinct will start their implementation on July 15th, and the East Precinct will start on August 5th. Reporting live in Southwest Portland, Carly Olson, Good Day, Oregon.
Carly.